Dropshipping, affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA, there's just so many ways to make your first $500 online. It can be confusing and frustrating and difficult to know what business to start. So in today's video, I'm not going to talk about any of those things. See, the truth is, they all work. There is no such thing as the perfect business model. It took me failing 6 businesses by the age of 23 before that finally sunk in. I came to realize that there was 5 main factors that are more important than the business model that you need to know before making money online. They're kind of second nature to me now, but they've always been in the play, in the background, that have helped me take my businesses from $0 to now making over $10 million in revenue every single month. Before I run you through each of these 5 things, let me be clear, they all work together like a powerful chess strategy. Each calculated move sets up the next. So if you skip a step, then the whole strategy will fail. Now, don't forget that I've got a completely free Shopify course. Don't pay $8,000 for gurus. Click the Discord link below. All right, let's get into it. The first move for making your first $500 online is definitely the most important. I'm fortunate enough to have friends who have made millions of dollars, some even billions of dollars, using this one thing. This is the one trait that they all have. It stands out more than anything else, and it's that they have learned to back themselves. You see, the reason you're not making money online has nothing to do with what business you pick and everything to do with something called self-perception theory. Developed by a psychologist called Darrell Bem in the 1960s, the theory states that your brain decides what you are capable on based on past behavior. So if you've never made $500 online, your brain thinks you can't do it, even though it's not that difficult. I don't actually remember this story. However, my grandpa recently pulled out footage of me graduating high school the other day. Before each student walked on the stage, the teacher would say what the person wanted to do after they graduated. First up was someone that wanted to do engineering. Next, someone wanted to be an architect. And then she reads out my name and she says, when he grows up, Davie wants to be a billionaire.
And in 10 years' time, he hopes to be a billionaire.
Even though this is pretty cringe and I would never say anything like that anymore, it does show that the conviction and belief you have in yourself is extremely important. Stand your ground when someone starts questioning if you should start a side hustle or if you want to invest a weekend into an online course, even when people say that it will never work. Get used to trusting your own decisions, even if sometimes they're not always right. You may think that billionaires and millionaires have some magical talent that makes them super successful. Maybe you even think that about me, but trust me, I hang out with these guys and they all are normal people. They all have the same doubts as you. They've just learned to back themselves despite those doubts. So if you want to start making money online, pick a business and back yourself. So backing yourself is the foundational chess move. It'll keep your king safe, but this one is also really important. You need to start when you're busy. How many times have you said to yourself, I want to start a business, but I'm just so busy right now. I'll start after Christmas, or I'll start after the holidays, or when crypto starts to go insane again. If you're not careful, it'll be the trap that keeps you chained to the 9 to 5 forever. I like to refer to this as the tomorrow illusion. You've convinced yourself in some illusionary future that you won't be busy, but I'm telling you, that's the completely wrong way to look at it. This is because the brain follows something called Parkinson's law, which states that we stretch out tasks equal to the amount of time that we give to complete them. So if you give yourself a week to research a business idea, it's going to take a week. But if you give yourself 3 hours, your brain will find a way to do it in 3 hours. So by definition, you're always going to feel busy, no matter how much time you have. Back in 2013, I was insanely busy. I was studying mining engineering, but at the same time, I was finding the time to grow Instagram accounts. I would sell advertising on these Instagrams, and that led me to e-commerce. If I didn't start when I was insanely busy doing mining engineering, working, assembling furniture on the weekends, I never would have got into the industry. If you feel like you don't have enough time, just get up earlier. I was getting up at 4 a.m. to work on Instagram, and then I would go assemble furniture. The truth is, you don't actually need to work these crazy hours to make your first $500 online. All you need to do is maybe 2 hours a week initially and just get started. But you do need to be laser focused and productive. And this brings us to our next factor, which is the 80-20 rule. You see, when people are trying to make money online, they're focusing on the wrong thing, the wrong actions that produce very little results. The 80-20 rule works by focusing 80% of your energy on 20% of the tasks that produce the most impact, the most results. For example, most people who start a dropshipping business spend 80% of their time watching how-to videos on YouTube. This is instead of doing some high impact tasks like testing new video ads, getting your iPhone out and shooting a viral TikTok, and even launching a whole new product rather than just watching tutorial after tutorial. So they never end up getting results and eventually quit. When if they were just focusing on that 20% of those tasks that create sales, specifically sales, they would have been much more likely to succeed in business. So use those 2 hours that you can dedicate to the business in maximizing results. Now, if you feel like you can't even find 2 hours a week to get started, my last 5th factor is a really, really good trick, so keep watching. I like to call it the copy and paste. It's just to copy and paste the path of a mentor. When I was first getting started in e-commerce, I would just constantly fail miserably. I launched my seasoning brand and nobody bought. I just had no clear plan. And then eventually I surrounded myself in the e-commerce community and I got someone like Greta Van Riel in my corner teaching me how to do influencers. And all of these mentors has shaped my path. I would just grab a little bit of knowledge from this mentor in this area, a little bit from like Toby Pierce in terms of business acumen. And this then helped me launch Calming Blankets, my first successful brand, which made over $1 million profit in its first year. This is because mentors know exactly the traps that they fell into and they can teach you the hard lessons without you having to learn them. Now, here's the trap that everyone is getting into. People think that to get a mentor, you just need to DM someone on Instagram and say, can I buy you a coffee? But a good mentor doesn't actually need to be someone you have one-on-one. A mentor can be an amazing book, a really detailed YouTube video like a how-to, or just a free online course. Another mistake I see people making is that they go and contact someone that's doing over $100 million in sales. But the truth is you don't need help from that person. You just need to find a mentor that's doing $10,000 of sales because they have just walked the path that you are trying to walk most recently. So they know, they can remember everything and you're just trying to achieve what they've achieved first. It's all about sequencing and stepping up. But just make sure that you're not getting shiny object syndrome and just constantly getting distracted with new ways of making money. Just pick one method that you think is gonna work, then find a mentor and just keep testing, keep iterating. Alrighty, so I promised you a strategy about how to get 2 hours every week without giving up Netflix, hanging out with your partner, or even doing things that you enjoy. I use this technique every day to build my business and still enjoy plenty of free time. It's called time blocking, and after implementing it, you'll know exactly what to do and when you can relax. See, I used to feel like the day just got away from me. I'd wake up in the morning with no clear plan for the day. So I'd grab a coffee and just start working on whatever I felt like, whatever I was passionate about, or whatever was easiest. I would start one thing and then 20 minutes later, remember I had to do another thing. So all my day was basically exhausting my brain. I was feeling extremely scrambled. It was actually taking energy to decide on what I should be doing. This was until I learned about time blocking. So the way time blocking works is you get your calendar and you schedule out your entire day. Every single second has a task in it. So it might be waking up, having breakfast, going to work, going to the gym. Eventually you'll realize that there's big gaps in your calendar that you're filling with absolute nonsense. This will then allow you to schedule, research product, launch Shopify store, and you'll finally have enough time to get started making money online. You'll find these random 15-minute pockets, 30-minute pockets that you can really focus on your online business. Now remember, Parkinson's law, if we give ourselves a very small amount of time to get a task done, we'll probably be able to do it. So this brings us to our final chess move to make $500 online. It'll completely remove your fear of failure so that you can finally start to take action and generate an online income. It's called the test and fail framework. This framework goes against everything that school has brainwashed you with. They drilled into you that if you failed, it was a bad thing. But this framework completely debunks that, and it's the way that all successful people think. Because the truth is, failure is the only way to achieve your dreams. I launched an iPhone business, headphone business, I launched a cafe. They all failed, but they all built skills that I then used to create my successful business. So don't be afraid of just getting started and failing. If you want me to help mentor you, watch this next video on how to build a Shopify store and put all of these things into practice. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.